Hey, good morning, everyone. This week, it's going to be a little bit changed to 2021 for our assignments. So each week we usually have two assignments. That's going to stay the same, except those two assignments this week are in one assignment. They're in one Google document. I'm going to drop those right after this video today, and that is going to be due Thursday at midnight. That way you guys have plenty of time to work on that. On Tuesdays, I'm going to explain the assignments, and on Thursday during class, we're going to have a working period. That way I can check out where you guys are at with that assignment. So to start along, we're going to go over some slides today. We're going to look at some different things about how amendments work, how many amendments we have, what the process is to create a new amendment, and also things like judicial review. All right, so we're going to start a little bit here about the amendment process. All right, so how and why did the framers of the Constitution devise an amendment process? The framers ended up recognizing that the American society and conditions, would change over time. Remember, they were writing this Constitution out in 1787, all right, over 250 years ago. So think about the changes in society and conditions of society and changes, changes from, fashion, lifestyle, music, things like that over a 200-year period. Because of this, one of the framers, George Mason, said that, therefore, amendments, they might change with that society changing. So amendments will be necessary, and they're also an easy and regular way to change the Constitution over time. So now we look at how do we create these amendments. So society is changing over time, and how and why does, what part of the amendment process, how does it work? So the framers didn't want to make it too easy to amend the Constitution because they didn't want to just have any laws signed into place. But they decided under Article 5 of our Constitution that amendments, they may be proposed by 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress, or they can be proposed by 2/3 of the state's Congress. All right, and by proposing these, it's a pretty simple step to ratify them. It comes the next step, but they have to vote upon it. And let's say 2/3 of the Congress, proposes an amendment. Then 3/4 of the 50 state legislature has to vote and agree upon this proposed amendment in order for it to become a new law. So think about that. 3/4, so 75% of the state legislators would have to agree for it to become a new law. That is hard and that is difficult to get that high percentage of people to agree on things. So if they do agree on it, it'll be ratified and it would become a completed new amendment. But, Americans over time have been reluctant to change. All right. So since 1789, more than 10,000 amendments have actually been proposed. All right. So 10,000 of them have been in this stage of proposing. All right. But only 27 have actually been ratified. So 27 in that time period out of 10,000 proposed have actually been ratified. All right, so we have just looked at the amendment process in our Google Slides. This is the part one work. Remember, all the work is combined for the week, but this is the work based off of the amendment process. So you're going to use those slides, that part one we just went over, so everything about the amendment process, and also this video that is attached. So open this video up, this link. It's called Amending America. How do we amend? All right, and also you're going to use this political cartoon here based on the amendment process. So you're gonna have to investigate this amendment image. All right. And when you investigate that, the first couple questions, number one, what does the boy in the cartoon represent? What does the train represent? So take a look at this political cartoon. So the first, number one, two, the first two questions are based off of the political cartoon. All right. Number three, number four, and number five are based off of these notes for this week, and also they are based off of that YouTube video. All right, how do we amend? So all of those will help you for the first 8 parts of the amendment questions. There are hints in there on where to find these answers and where to look for them. So remember, you're using that video, the notes, and this political cartoon for part one of the work. All right, part two video is up next.